Hello. My name is Edge. Welcome to my channel. So today, guys, we're gonna talk about 5 tips that you can use to help you crush, excel, succeed, beat nursing school, and succeed like a champion. Stay tuned if you're interested. So before I even start, I just want to let you know, I don't actually have a magical trick for you to close your eyes and, become a nurse. But these 5 tips that I have are going to facilitate the process of going through nursing school, Yes, basically not a magical trick that you can just ta-da and become a nurse or whatnot. And also for these 5 points, just to let you know, they're just main points and they have sub points. So let's start. Let us start with number 1. So number 1 is something that you should have guessed. Yes. Number 1 is motivation. Motivation has 2 parts. Part 1 of motivation is what caused you to go into nursing. What's the motivation behind it? What's the fuel behind that decision? It is essential. It's crucial that you know your why. Why did you take that path? Oh man, is it because you want to be in a field that makes a difference, or you want to have a flexible work schedule? Because nurses work 3 days a week, off for 4 days, and the 4th day is considered overtime, which is great. Or did you go into nursing because you want to have a stable form of income for your family? You need to know your why. And then when you've considered your why, how is this going to improve your life when you become a nurse? How does it help your family? How does it help your community? You need to know all of these, because this is what's gonna help you when you need to stay up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra hours to study and look at a book that is like, well, that's not a book, but it's thick and it's huge and it's annoying, and then the things just you need to know your why, so that you can just turn that book into your life partner and just make it one with your soul, and then just because I'm telling you guys, the most difficult semester for me in nursing school was definitely pediatrics. I don't know why. I never stayed up so long. I never crammed so much. Actually, I do know why it was a difficult semester, because that's when I met my partner actually. And then we had just met, we were texting constantly. And then there was this one exam, I think it was the second exam that I was gonna take. And it was Friday. My exam is on Monday. So Friday after class, I'm behind, I think, about 12 chapters for this test. And, I'm texting him, life is great, blah, blah. But I'm like, ooh, I need to study. Even if I don't text anyone, I still don't think I have enough hours in these few days to catch up for my tests, because I need to sleep. So I'm like, I'm sure, when I just started nursing school, for some weird reason, there were a bunch of people advertising stuff to help you stay awake, and I needed stuff to stay awake. And I took so many stuff to stay awake. It was crazy. I actually almost died that semester because I took so many stuff. When I needed to sleep, I could not sleep. My heart was pumping out of my chest, and it was crazy. My why was just so crazy, man. I was just But basically, I'm not telling you to almost die, but I'm telling you, you need a strong why. You need a healthy way of, fulfilling your way into doing it But the main point of this motivation thing is you need something to motivate you, something you can go back to when things get difficult, so you can say, yes, I have to do this because this is what I gain from it. This is what my children, my family, my community gains from it. You know what I mean? It has to be something bigger than yourself. And that worked for me. Whew, I don't even want to think of nursing school. That was a horror. Part 2 of motivation will definitely have to be therapeutic music, you know, motivational videos. I listen to so many motivational videos. When I woke up in the morning, it was either I was listening to Fearless Motivation or this playlist that I created that is filled with songs of inspiration, gospel stuff, you know, just reminding you of how great it is to be alive and to be filled with all of your abilities, and that you can, you know, the fact that you're alive alone, you know, and healthy and vibrant and you can do anything. And I just listened to things that just, you know, sparked that in me every morning. And you know, that's important. And not only that, the motivational videos, the quotations, the songs, because music has a soul, guys, and the things that the music is saying, it gets within you, it touches your soul, and that soul can contaminate or purify your soul, and then you just become one. And the song that was on repeat for me constantly was Unstoppable by Sia. I was like waking up to it, going to sleep to it, studying. My study breaks would be through that song. And yeah, like, you know, if it's not just your why, because sometimes, like, you know, this is why I want to do it, and that's not enough. You just need something else to just push you to just remember your why is enough, which is the motivational reasons, the motivational videos, the musics, you know, the sound, all of these stuff. I don't want to get into the other points with this one point, but I think you get my point. The things that you listen to, if it's poetry or music or whatever it is, make sure that it is contributing something positive to your success. And yeah, that's motivation for you. Part 2 is your environment. Yes, you can use your environment to actually increase your chance of success. An environment has many subpoints. Your place of staying, the people in it, all of those are part of the environment. So when I actually got enrolled into nursing school, the school that I actually went to, I knew a lot of people that went that path and didn't make it. So when I went into it, well, before I even started, it wasn't like I was like, yes, I got this, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be a breeze. No, I had so many doubts. I was like, oh, could I actually do this? And for me to simply help increase my chance of success or decrease my doubts about it, what I decided to do was try to use my environment to kind of like increase my chance of succeeding. I didn't actually know if this was gonna work, but I was like, better try, you know, and fail than not to try at all. So many things and it was actually very beautiful to do. So in my room, I had like a few little flowers just to add a few girls' touch or whatever. But in between, I had so many quotations all over the place. I had one of my favorites, which was, if you can dream it, girl, you can do it. You know, if you don't step forward, you're always in the same spot. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Your tomorrow, well, no, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. And I'm telling you, there are so many times I wanted to just postpone something, but when I look forward, I see that thing that says, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. It just I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe something might come up tomorrow and I might not be able to do it. Might as well just get it done while I can. And it worked. It helped a lot. But what helped me the most would be when I was down. Whenever I was down, or when I would feel like, oh, I don't know, can I actually do this? What I would do, I take my notebook, I take my pen, I write my name, Edge, E-D-J, comma, R-N. Yes, girl, I would write it into existence. Edge, RN, Edge registered nurse. Okay, I would sometimes write the whole thing out or just put the RN. I would just put my lines under it. I would touch it. I would feel it, smell it. And I'm telling you, if I can touch it, if I can feel it, I can smell it, how dare you tell me it can't be mine? That thing was just into my mind. In my head, it was already mine. It was already given to me. God had given it to me and I was just walking to it. It's been mine before I even started. That's the mindset I use, and it helped. All over the place, I had Edge, RN, Edge this. Sometimes in class the teacher's talking and I'm just writing Edge, RN. Actually, I got this idea from one of my professors in class. She's like, I don't know, why are you guys not studying? This is what you need to do. You need to go home, write your name on a sticky pad, and you need to put a comma and put RN. Claim it, claim it. And then I was like, I think this might do it. And I did it, and I'm telling you, it just sparkled something inside of me, and I was like, And yeah, so that's for the physical environment of environment. Another part of the environment aspect would be, it wasn't just my room. It was sometimes my books, my binders. For this one, for example, every semester in my binders, I try to put different quotations, you know? And I would put pictures of myself and my classmates that, you know, we finished that semester. And then I would put, you know, a quote under it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Never limit yourself because of others' limited imagination. So basically what I did, I would go on Google before I start any semester. And I would find my favorite quotations. And then I would just pull it up on, well, I put it on Microsoft Word. And then I print it in color. And then I just put it here. Oh, go down. And this was actually my last semester's binder. And every time I had to go in my binder, because this is what I use for my homework, you know, for organization of my stuff, Nelson Mandela would be reminding me, it always seems impossible, my friend, until it's done. You know, every time I go in my binder, I got something motivational. Like right there, it says, the undisciplined are slaves to moods, appetites, and passion. I don't remember where I got that from, but it's not mine. But yeah, whatever it is that you're gonna be looking at a lot, whatever you're touching a lot, whatever that's close to you a lot, use it as a source of motivation. Put something there just to remind you that you are awesome and you can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. Yes. So that's that for the environmental part of environment. Part 2 of environment includes, you know, you go to nursing school, there's a lot of people in nursing school and all of them have different types of energy. And where I was at, I did notice there were two major types of people at the school. We had the types, actually maybe it was more than 2, but this is basically the main 2 types, okay? We had the types that was like, you know, I'm in here, yes, I know this place is hard, but it's cheap, I gotta do this and get out. In, out. You had the second type of students. They come in, yes, they know why they're here, but they're like, oh my gosh, I hear the teachers here like planning to fail everyone. I don't know if I can pass. This teacher, I hear she hates human beings. She eats babies, and you know, so you have to choose which type of students you're going to hang out with. Like the students that are just gonna constantly like add to your fears, or the ones that are just like in, out. You know, like I'm here, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I don't have time to talk about how this teacher does not like me, because that's time I could be using to study. You know what I mean? Yes, and I did meet a few students like that, that just focused a lot on how they cannot succeed, and at the end of the day, they did not, unfortunately. And yeah, so that's important. So another type of people that I had to help me was whenever, you know, I'm out of school, I need motivation and I'm trying to study, or I'm intimidated, I'm scared, this test is huge. The people I relied on for motivation regarding that would be my friends, you know, my parents. Actually, I remember one night, I think it was the same pediatric test I was gonna take, and I was like, I studied so much and my heart was like beating out of my chest. I couldn't sleep. Walking around the room, I walked out of the room. I guess my mother could sense my discomfort, and she came in and she was praying with me, you know. She's like, cast out this fear out of her head and stuff like that. And 30 minutes later, after her prayer, I slept and woke up and took my test. And then now here I am. So that was important. Another, well, this one correlates with what I said prior. You know, you have to decide if you're the study group type, you know, and if you're gonna have a study group, back to what I said prior, the type of energy you're gonna get in that study group is important, you know, so choose wisely. Number 3. So number 3 is discipline, persistency, consistency. That helps you succeed in nursing school. So basically, discipline explains itself. For me, you know, there's different type of people and the way that they organize things. People like to write every single thing down. I was a type that basically, I had everything in my head, and when it was too much and it needed to be organized and I had to put it on paper to basically just make sense of it all and just make life easier in a way. So I would do my weekly plans, and that would be broken down into what do I plan to do for each day of that week to make sure I meet the goal for that week. And if I plan to study, let's say 5-6 chapters for that day, I can't sleep until I'm done with those chapters, because tomorrow has its own battles, you know what I mean? So that's where consistency, discipline, and persistence comes in. Because if you don't have that discipline, it hurts and it makes it harder than it needs to be. And then what helps you with your discipline is your motivation. Because once you need to, you know, stay up a little extra, if you know your why, it facilitates staying disciplined to the cause, if you get what I'm saying. So that is number 3, which has actually, let me see, am I missing anything? Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. Just make sure you finish your chapters or whatever you plan. You know you have to have organizational skills, and you gotta create schedules. You don't have to write everything down, but you need like the main subtitles, and that just, you know, help you move in a certain direction to kind of like make sense of life. So let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is actually, some people will say, I think this is supposed to be number 1 or 2 or 3, like it should be higher on the list, but No, I think it's right where it needs to be for me. But let me know in the comments below if you think the way I organize it, like if I should have prioritized something else instead. But number 4 is your study method. How do you study? What's the most effective way for you to get the information you need up here? So for me, while I was in nursing school, every semester I actually had a different study method because I was trying to see what worked best for me, because I never in my life had to obtain so much information all at once in such a short period of time, you know? And then every semester I had different teachers that just did certain things differently, and then their tests would be different, and they just required more or less of a specific thing. So for some teachers, I didn't have to read the book as much. You had to focus more on their lectures, you know? And for some teachers, their lectures were useless, okay? Because they just come and then, you know, generalize all of their lessons, and then the stuff was just a bunch of specific things in the book itself. And you have some teachers that just, yeah, like they're just, I don't know what they're doing, but you know, yeah. And you just have to realize yourself, like, you know, on the first test, you usually see the type of questions a teacher asks. Are they the general type of teachers, or the ones that require you to be specific about certain things? And yeah, and then you just have to basically roll with that. Let's see. So on study method, I scan read my chapters, all chapters. I scan through it, and then as I go through that, I do Q&A so that I never have to read a chapter more than once. And I also did a lot of YouTube videos. So before I actually read any chapter, I look for a video online where someone is talking about it, so that I could have like an idea of it, so that when I read it, it makes sense, instead of trying to make sense of it while I read it, because then it would take me too long to actually make sense of it, and then a lot of unnecessary time wasted. So use resources outside of the book, you know, don't just focus on the book like that's the only thing that's important. But use your YouTube, okay? Use your friends. One thing that I realized was that a lot of people that were in the nursing school with me, a lot of them already worked in the hospital setting. Some of them already had some prior knowledge to certain things, and you can use that to your benefit, you know what I mean? So figure out the type of study method that works for you, and make sure like you focus also on the type of questions your teacher asks, you know, because that's also important, because at the end of the day, you gotta pass the test. So see what the teacher focus on more. Are they like general or specifics? And that can make a difference. Number 5. So number 5 is actually my favorite in all of them, because it kept me motivated. You know, I had something to look forward to. So number 5 is a reward system. Reward. So basically how this works for me, at the start of every semester, by the end of it, I would do something exciting. So before I start my semester, I plan a trip, or I plan to do something, you know, fun with my friends, or travel to like another state, something thrilling, something to look forward to. And what I would do is make sure I book my trip or whatever it is, and it is certain. And then in my head, I'm like, you know, when the semester is over, we have to go there. And it would be really awful to go to a trip after you failed a class. Like, hello. So no, we're gonna succeed because we already have a reward in place for succeeding. And it made me, work harder to make sure that at the end of the semester, I was on the good side of things, and it helped the reward system. Another part of that reward system is, whenever I'm reading my stuff for the day or finishing my chapter, I love to watch anime. So what I would do, every chapter I finish, I would watch my favorite show or my anime things that I love to watch, or go outside for a walk. I rarely went for walks. I mainly watch Netflix and kiss anime. But yeah, that was that. Another thing that's very important in the reward system is making sure that you take breaks. Breaks are important to not overwhelm yourself. It can be extremely overwhelming when you just see how much you have to do. Like when it's you're like, the things are just like in your head, and you're like, you need to like distance yourself from your fears, take breaks when necessary to not overwhelm your brain. Another thing too that I realized when I needed a break mainly would be whenever I was reading a chapter, I would be stuck on a line and I had to read that line like 10, 15 times, and I still had no idea what I just read. And your brain is tired. You might need a 30-minute nap, you know what I mean? And that's important. You need to know when to take your breaks. So number 5, the reward system was my favorite. So thank you so much for staying tuned till the end. I truly appreciate you. Please subscribe, comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think my next video should be about, and also let me know what you think of the video, if you would change the way I prioritize things. And yeah, I love when you guys comment and let me know what you're thinking. So subscribe, comment, and share the video. Stay awesome and bless. Deuces.